Hello there, hello there, hello there. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, March 18th, 2021. And it's Chris Ann here, founder of the Yard Card Business Network. I was going to do an actual official training today. Hold on one second. But I've had different things come up, information and news updates. And so I thought I'm just going to jump in here. I know it's spontaneous and I didn't send out an email letting y'all know I was coming in, but sometimes we just got to roll with it, right? So first off, let me just tell you, of course, as soon as I planned to do this, like 5 minutes ago, my neighbor, they just decided they're going to start mowing their lawn with the weed eater and everything. So I apologize if it gets a little loud because, real life. So hi there, everybody. It's nice to see you all coming in here. So I love it because sometimes, we're like, okay, we're going to have this official plan and lovely training and chat and Q&A. And then other times it's like, you know what? We just need to get stuff done. So here is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about a Coroplast shortage. And this is something that has been popping up over and over. And I started getting contacted a few days ago about this from different people. I have my own wholesale suppliers. And so then on Facebook land, I've started to see this come up with some groups and some different vendors, other yard greeting people that are contacting me, letting me know what's happening with their local sign supply shops. So just in case you're tuning in and haven't heard the news, there is an official nationwide Coroplast shortage. And if you're wondering what is Coroplast, is the material that your waterproof signs are made out of. And let's see if I can pronounce the name properly, but it's polypropylene. Don't quote me on that. I may be pronouncing it wrong, probably so. But it's a petroleum-based product. And, well, there's a shortage on the petroleum right now. And, of course, as we all know, everything trickles down to the regular person, right? So it is not your suppliers, I should say our suppliers, that are deciding all of a sudden to just rack up, and raise the prices. It's part of what happens when you're trying to get materials. And, I'm in Houston, Texas, and, we have people flat out getting laid off around here, even though it sounds so wrong, doesn't it? There's this shortage. You'd think there'd be more jobs in the petroleum and oil and gas, and it's just not how it works, is all I know. What I do know is what affects us and our bottom line, right? So here's what I want to tell you all first of all. Don't panic. Don't panic. This is not anything any of us needs to panic about. The only reason I wanted to come in here and even talk about it is to hopefully give you all some insights and just my opinion and my thoughts about it. So, of course, thankfully, we're all here in America and we have the freedom to decide on our own what we want to do about this. Can we keep the prices where they are and make more petroleum? No, we can't. We can only control what we can, right? With that being said, number one, my piece of advice, as I already said, is don't panic about this because this too shall pass. Now, number two, I'm just going to here's my fancy plan, y'all. I wrote it on a Post-it note. Sometimes this is the best things we can talk about, right? Our topics. Okay, so first of all, don't panic. What I don't want you to go out and do is decide, oh my gosh, I better buy anything and everything before the prices go up, because they're going to go up. And I'm here to tell you, yes, you are going to see prices either go up, or this insanity of all of these sales, sale after sale after sale after sale, are going to calm down and you're not going to see as many. So don't go and just start running around deciding, what do I want to buy? What do I want to buy? No. Your pocketbook will thank you later for that. However, number two, if you have stuff, signs, you have been planning on buying. Maybe you were thinking you were going to maybe do it this week or, next week, maybe next, by the end of the month. if you know there are signs you're going to be purchasing, now is the time to go ahead and do that. But I don't want you to do it out of fear, out of, this worry about it. Don't have anxiety over buying signs. What this can do for you is make you decide to go, okay, you know what? It's time for me to just get my order placed. So I hope that makes sense. Now here's the fun part that I think most of us can relate to. Number 3, what about those of us who are in indecision? Meaning we're not sure whether to buy A, B, C, or D. There's just so many different wonderful designs out there, 10,001 different vendors nowadays. And who do we buy from and what designs do we buy? Are you one of the people that can raise your hand with me right now and say, I'm not sure whether I want to buy A, B, C, or D? Are you standing with me in any sort of indecision? We'll see if there is anybody else, because I'm going to bet there's at least one other person that watches this either live or on the replay that also has had a kind of do I want this color or that color? It could be that simple. Yay. Okay. See, I have one. Thank you very much, because that makes me feel better. For me, I can overthink things very, very well. And it could be over something really simple for a color. I'm like, well, let's see. The black goes with everything, but what if I don't want as versatile? What if I want to do school colors for graduation? And do I want to do more dark green like I normally do? Or do I want to get in some maroon, more maroon? Because last year I needed more maroon. I can get in my head and do that. So yes, your cart is full. Exactly. For those of you who are watching this, side note, on YouTube, I just want to let you know that I'm watching the comments over here on Facebook land. And so if you're on YouTube, go ahead and head over to Facebook, or just know those are the comments that I'm reading. So just FYI on that. You just never know. Sorry about that. So anyway, I am the biggest culprit when it comes to indecision land. And, I think the official term is analysis paralysis, where we have all this to do, but we don't do anything because we're stuck and we're frozen, right? So it is time for us to decide, what do we really need? So if you've got a cart full, or since we have 10,001 vendors now, 10 carts full, here's what I would recommend doing. I don't have 10,001 vendors that I am looking to order from. However, there's a lot of them out there with great things. And that can be part of it, is, do I want to order from vendor A, B, C, D, or E? And then the alphabet keeps going, right? I think we are probably up to X by now. If that is an issue, if you really can't decide between vendor to vendor, then look at where you have ordered from in the past and received a super high quality product. Y'all, this is not just about price. I am contacted on a very regular basis about quality, about sign quality. And just because something is the cheapest price-wise, sometimes it's not the greatest quality. However, sometimes it can be on a crazy good sale and be super cheap price-wise and be great quality. So from your own experience what sort of quality you've received from different vendors. Go with that. If you are really on the fence and you're not sure whether you want to order from somebody you've never done business with, and you're on the fence, just pick the person you've been, the company you've been doing business with. I say that to get you off the fence. If you really are leaning towards someone who you haven't done business with, and you really want to go with them, then go with them. My point there is, if it's really, it's a tiebreaker kind of deal, and you're going to laugh at this. I don't have one on me. Y'all, have you ever flipped a coin to decide? here's what we all know from psychology. When you decide, you know what, okay, I'm going to go with vendor A that's heads and vendor B that's tails. First of all, you got to at least narrow it down. Sometimes that can help on its own to just narrow it down. Okay, get the finalists. It can be 3, but when we're flipping a coin, we can only do it with 2, right? Okay, I wish I had a coin on me. I don't. We've got heads, vendor A, B, vendor, tails, vendor B. As soon as you flip that coin, you have an instant thought in your head as to which one you hope it is. You hope it's A or you hope it's B. You hope it's heads or you hope it's tails. And I mean, it is one of these, you instantly get it, right? And then you go and you look and you're either, or you're, okay. Do y'all know what I'm talking about with that? I hope you do, and I bet you do. Because then when you look down and you see it's heads, and you're like, yes, I'm getting the thing from vendor A. Yes, I know I get a little bit excited when I start talking about these things. You're going to know that's the right answer. If you are truly in indecision and you have vendor A's heads, vendor B is tails, and you're excited about either one, and then you flip that coin and it's whichever, just go with it. Go with tails. Go with whatever the coin decides. And you're laughing at me, I know. My point is, get it done. And it's so hard. If you really need to, reach out to a buddy. If it's between colors, talk to somebody. Look at what colors have rented previously. Look at your most popular colors. If you're looking at right now as a big hole, right, we're all prepping for graduation season. If you're looking at that, my piece of advice there is don't do so much in the obscure colors. If you're trying to go all out with school colors, don't forget, not everybody wants to just like hug their schools. What I have learned in the past is there's a lot of students, these grads, that are done with high school, especially the last 2 years, and they want to move forward. They're not necessarily always looking for their school colors. So if you're looking to do some weird color combos, and I shouldn't call them weird, some less common and some obscure color combos, my advice to that is if you're on the fence, if you don't have orders for it, first of all, really rethink whether you want to put your graduation budget for that, because versatility is going to really, it's going to help you in the long run so much more. And so when you're looking, and I'm going to tie this all back in together, right? We're looking at I'm going to just say, I think a bunch of us are in that indecision land right now. And this Coroplast shortage is really coming up very quickly, right? I've been out of town. And so, I keep getting email after email since early, I think Monday, Sunday, something like that. And so I'm like, okay, I'm seeing this, and I'm seeing more and more wholesalers contact me. And now I'm starting to see it blow up. And, I'm not in all the vendor groups on Facebook, but we're certainly seeing them come out and just say, hey, here's a heads up. Y'all, just so you know, none of these vendors are doing this to try to get an extra sale. They're not doing this to scare you into buying right now. I don't know all the vendors out there, but I do know that there is a real issue that we're having in not just our industry. You got to think about all of the sign shops out there in the country. And, the biggest thing really is going ahead and just making a decision about what you want to get. But what I don't want you to do is buy just because of this shortage. Because quite frankly, I'm going to bet everybody, at least if you're a friend of mine, it's so hard for me to not buy everything, right? I think that's for everybody. But something that I always talk about is keeping more pennies in your pocket. So what I don't want anybody to do is buy just because right now things might be a little bit cheaper than what they're going to be a month from now. With that being said, if you feel like you're going to go buy something and it's between A, B, C, D, and E, and that's what you're, trying to decide about, look at what your budget is and then rank them and say, okay, you know what? I want what's your top 5? I'm making up numbers. What's your top 5? And then decide, okay, I'm not going to buy 5. I'm going to buy, I'd say 2.5, but we can't really do that in this world. So we'll buy the top 3. I would rather you be more conservative with your money and get what you really, really need versus the wish list. Be conservative with your money right now, but buy with an informed decision. It's for those that are in indecision land, like me. We need to just let this be a fire to put under us, but to be conservative with those decisions, and don't buy the $5,000 that are in your multiple carts with 10,001 vendors right now, right? You see what I'm going with this? So bring it back in, look at your budget, just start ranking those items that you really want, that are also going to serve you well. If these are the obscure items that would be really cool for that one order, those go down on the priority list. It's time to focus on what's going to bring you more customers. More versatility is going to do that as well. I do love me some color though. And graduation is a time you want to make sure you get the most out of every single one of these graduation signs. And yes, I know we've got Mother's Day, we've got Easter. The list goes on and on and on. This is the busiest time of the year, quarter 2, April, May, and June. March, April, May. I guess we're in mid-March now. This is the time when so many people can just spend, close to $10,000, $5,000 even in inventory. And then, yeah, you can make your money back from it, but I don't want you to work having spent all this money and then break even, because that sucks. And just because you get more orders in, that doesn't mean you're making more income. And again, I'm all about pennies in your pocket, right? Because we're all in here to provide a wonderful service, but to also feed our families, right? And I think that always sounds a bit melodramatic. It could be because you want to go to Disney World. Once you can do that. We all have the reason that we're in the business and wanting to earn X number of dollars, right? So I want you to keep that in mind. So, okay, so we've got that. I'm going to just recap here with my summary, again, with my very fancy notes, but sometimes this is what is the most effective for us. So remember, number 1, don't panic. Number 2, if you do have stuff in your cart, look at it, make sure it's stuff you really want, and then go ahead and purchase it. And number 3 is indecision. Let's go ahead and rank the things. I know we have exciting words, right? I'm not using my words very well today. But rank every one of those inventory wish list purchases, wishful purchases, and then just pick. I would love to hear if anybody does the coin toss test. If you're between A and B, I want to hear if somebody does this, because it really can make a difference. And just don't get caught up in the fear. Yes, the prices will end up going up a little bit. But here's what I also want to talk about. Go ahead. And I was going to do this. I did this the other day. If you didn't catch my training on, I think, Monday, go look for that, because I did this. Even though it was in the car, it was still a really good training. This is a perfect reason to do this. I want everybody, starting tomorrow's Friday, to increase their prices by $5. Oh, but Chrisanne, I don't know if I can do that. My competitor doesn't do that. Or what if my customers think it's too much money? Is anybody here having that inner dialogue? Right? That, but. Just do it. Just do it. Because your business isn't going to fall off a cliff because you go up $5. And what that also means is in the future, you're going to have your signs go up just a little bit in price. Maybe not see the same sales. This is insanity, y'all, that so many vendors have things on sale all the time, just about. And you know what? I absolutely adore some of these vendors, right? I don't know everybody, but it's a real challenge for everybody to see so many things on sale because their time is also very valuable. And so, I would hate for this to, it's really kind of become a little bit too much like, oh, you know what? If I can't get my signs for $70 for a 4x8 sheet, then everything else looks too expensive. No, no. What I'm hoping for is to see vendors that are able to go ahead and offer a sale, but not as often maybe. And that way, there's only so much of the corners they can cut price wise. And I just want y'all to know that. And so they're not trying to ramrod you or me or anybody else. This is a thing, but it's not something to freak out about. The prices are going to probably go up a little bit, but it's not the reason to just spend now because you're scared, right? Whenever the pandemic officially started, I don't know about where you live, but I think around the country, all of a sudden, all the toilet paper got bought up. Did anybody have that happen, right? Everybody freaked out. And you know what? Understandably so. We had a lot of unknowns. But this is different because we know we can still get signs. Will it maybe be $5 more, $10 more, $20 more a sheet? Okay, it might be. So if you go up $5 in your prices tomorrow, your business isn't going to fall off a cliff and you're going to be okay. So I just wanted to share that with you. So this is not my official training and talk that I wanted to have with you, but I felt compelled to go ahead and do this. And if you are still watching this or you're here on the replay, just know to watch out. If you are on our email list, I will be sending out an email with an official day and time that we're going to be actually doing what I call a sit down, not on my iPhone, talk, right? So we're going to talk about some important things. So if you are not on our email list, you need to get on it because it's kind of hit and miss on Facebook or on YouTube. I got to just say. So go to yardcardbusinessnetwork.com/subscribe. That's yardcardbusinessnetwork.com/subscribe. And that way it's going to be the best way to go ahead and find out when we're going to have an actual official sit down training and we're going to talk about some more things. So this is just my quick down and dirty. Let me grab my phone because I want to talk about this before the prices do have to go up with a lot of the vendors. And if they do, okay, we're all okay, right? It's fine. It's fine. Just, give yourself a hug. I'm giving you a virtual hug. I don't know how to do that. How do we do this? Let's see. I saw somebody do is this how we do a heart? I don't know. I'm kind of like not girly like that. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in, whether you're here live or on the replay, or if you are some of my wonderful YouTube friends over there. I appreciate y'all being here. And also, just do me a favor. If you have some questions, some topics you would like to cover, I am still getting those submissions. I've been getting those all week. Go ahead and drop them below. Let me know some of your questions or topics so that when we have our official next Facebook Live and training, it might be on Zoom, I'll have yours submitted. And we're going to go over some of these. It's the most popular ones I pick from, and then we talk about. So anyway, there y'all have it. I hope this has been helpful. Let me know and go out and have an awesome day. And I will see you all soon. Cheers.